How's it, guys? This is Davey, FPL. Welcome back to the Deadline with Davey live stream. This live stream is going to be on this Tuesday evening, my time. It might be kind of Tuesday afternoon. It might even be Wednesday morning, as some of you are saying in the chat. Just absolute dedication there. Can only say thank you for that one. I'm going to try and make this stream not boring as possible so that you guys do get a bit of a boost. But if you need to go back, you need to sleep, I completely understand. Luckily for you, I think the majority of team sheet news is not going to arrive, and that's just because we probably care about Man City the most, and they don't play tonight. So you guys can maybe get the night off if need be. However, I'll be here for the next 54 minutes answering your guys' questions, as well as potentially changing my team. As you guys can see, Haaland captain currently. Is this going to stick by the deadline? I don't exactly know. My current thinking is that Haaland, I think it's a kind of start or he's not in the squad. I don't think he comes off the bench. He could, I guess, but I feel like the risk is a bit lower for that. And therefore, if Haaland starts and plays the majority of the game, I still feel like he's the best Captaincy option. So armband currently on him. But what I would say is that if there's any doubt of starting, which I guess there is, I think Bruno also looks good. I think Captaincy also looks good. Just depends on where we kind of decide to go for. So you guys let me know what you're doing. Maybe I'll put a poll up in chat. We do also have 4 a.m. says light rays in Sydney. I don't miss those time zones. I won't lie to you. On my Sydney trips, I got a full taste of those time zones. And you guys are a lot more committed than I was. Let's just say that. Just give me a second. Also let me know if the audio and the video look and sound Gucci. It does look like we are okay from my initial inspection. But just let me know if there's anything that's bothering you guys. Otherwise, let's get to the start of the chat. We have Light Rays coming in and saying, injury minefield at present. We need the chocolate milk. Unfortunately, I came straight from work, so I didn't have time to get chocolate milk. I know I've committed a sin there, but don't worry. I'm hoping that we still will get the green arrow. FPL Hits, as always, is coming in with the How's it, Davey? Have full run out of Band-Aid. One free transfer, thinking Rice or Enzo to Soboslai, Sade, Dango, Tavernier. Which one would you recommend? Have Ekatike and Thiago ready and holding Rodgers. I think it's a little bit unlucky that Wilson isn't confirmed fit, because I think he's now the priority. Like, if you guys don't have Dango and you want to bring in a 5.96 mil midfielder, because the Burnley game has come and gone for Brentford, Wilson's the priority. So if you're willing to take the punt or hits, I would say Enzo to Wilson is okay. I know that he's a doubt, but I feel like he's the priority over these other kind of transfers. Curly Mag saying everything I do appreciate it. Captain saying, so Davey, what's the plan currently? Can you go over it quick? I have to leave soon. Yeah, so my plan currently is to probably roll the transfer. I'm currently on captaining Haaland and vice captaining Bruno. This might change before the deadline, but I only think if we get confirmed news that Haaland is a little bit further away, because if you guys didn't see the update, basically Guardiola said that they're going to train today. He said Man City as a whole didn't train yesterday, so don't get it confused with Haaland didn't train. But obviously Man City going to train today, and they're going to take it as it comes. So, or at least he wasn't ruled out. Let's just say that. But yeah, that's my current plan. If you guys have to go, start Munoz or Anderson. I kind of feel like if you have Munoz, you play him. I just feel like you have him for the attacking threat. You might as well just go for him. I guess Anderson does have a chance of a clean sheet, but I don't think it's as high. And we'll assess that now when we do look at the kind of clean sheet odds. But I feel like if you have Munoz, you should probably play him. Vincent is saying, what's up, 1 a.m. my time, came in to see if you have chocolate milk. Okay, please like and subscribe if you haven't. If you guys want to like and subscribe according to Vincent's message, you can, as long as you're enjoying the stream. No chocolate milk, Vincent, and I'm captaining Haaland at the moment. So if you need to sleep like Siddharth, it's also 1 a.m. for him. You guys can also leave. How's it, guys? Are we sticking with Haaland? Says it's Abai. Currently. Sorry, my earphones just sounded really weird. I thought maybe the music was coming on my phone. I hope everyone is safe wherever you are, says Captain D. Very important fact, wherever you guys are on the world, hopefully you are safe. But Light Rays are saying that we're doomed for the FPL Green Arrow without the chocolate milk. Did we have it last week? Okay, then they might be a bit unlucky. Head Heavy, checking what to do. Andrew, just post the comment, brother, and I'll try and get back to you as soon as possible. I'm just trying to see if I missed any chats here for you early joiners. Start Crippy Jr. or Garner. I think you play Garner for the Burnley game. Where are the flags in your team? Efforts, they've disappeared, luckily. Munoz Anderson, yeah, so I've answered that one. Should I keep Enzo? Is selling for a Wobie an option? I have Dango ready. Yeah. Can you afford a Wilson? I would just go for Wilson. Even if he's not going to make this week, he's going to be fine for the future games. He might even come off the bench. But I do agree, if you guys have Wilson already, then a Wobie's an interesting punt. I feel like with those fixtures, and if you wildcard 32, you might as well. Daniel saying, how's it? I have Haaland, Wilson, and Rice. I only have Alderete in the bench. Should I swap Haven to Anderson, just in case one of the defenders is not available? Or should I swap Haaland to Ekatike? I'd only do Haaland to Ekatike if you want to captain Ekatike. Otherwise, Haven to Anderson. You probably meant Sin. That's okay. That's fine. Brandon, Ryan just saying, bro. Yeah, it does. I'm playing Anderson just because I don't know if Keane plays. I don't know if you guys are Everton fans in the chat, but maybe you can give me a recommendation. I do kind of feel like he starts, but not confident enough to play him over someone that could probably just get DEFCON. Connor is saying Haaland could play 10, Min's risky captain, also is Keane not a better option. Yeah, so it's just, I don't know if Keane's going to start, if I'm honest with you. So I'm almost just playing it safe. Top 2 differential captains. Gid, I don't know if I can classify Bruno's differential because I don't know the ownership on Haaland or the effective ownership. The yellow flag might completely sway people not to captain Haaland, but I would probably say Ekatike is up there as a differential. Salah would be there, but you can ask any Liverpool fan. He's just looked terrible recently. So I probably would say someone like a Bruno, an Ndiaye potentially with the Burnley game, as well as Ekatike. Those are my Captaincy pool at the moment. Richards or Anderson? I would go for Anderson. I don't think it's a bad fixture, to be honest. And Spurs have looked bad, but I still feel like they'll score. Is Ekatike sure to start? He's not 100%, but with Wirtz out, it basically frees up an attacking slot. And he was also subbed off before full time, so kind of rested, you could say, towards the end of the game. So yeah, Ekatike should be okay. But I mean, I thought that a couple of weeks ago, and then he picked up a knock or something, or was rotated for the fun of it, basically. Akash is saying, thinking of the following transfers, Evan Nielsen to Ekatike and Enzo to 4.5 mid. Yeah, I like those moves, mainly because Evan Nielsen apparently is out with an injury, so those moves look okay. My plans, Ty the Footy Guy, currently is probably to roll the transfer. I think I'm currently on Haaland, but I feel like Bruno's tempting, and the only reason for that is Newcastle are terrible. Apparently, they've got a stomach bug or something going around the camp, and also they've got FA Cup coming up on the weekend against Man City, so that team could be rotated. What are your plans for Wilson transfer, and for who will you bring him in? Cash, I'm going to wait and see. I might move Dewsbury Hall to Wilson, but then I need a bit of money in the bank. Where that comes from, I'll assess. And also just remember, if I wildcard in game week 32, you can still kind of save transfers till after that. So let's say I go into game week 32 with 3 free transfers, I can still save those till game week 33. So you don't have to take 1 week punts now before wildcard. And that's just something that I'm going to consider closer to the time. I might not even wildcard in 32. Let's just see how those FA Cup games do conclude. I've done Haaland and Rice to Ekatike and Salah. Am I mad? You're not mad. We might just have to call you a Liverpool fan though. But maybe you're not a Liverpool fan because Salah has looked bad having watched him recently. The one, who are you captaining? That'd be interesting for me. Are you not captaining Salah or are you going to stick on Ekatike? Let me just see. I don't think I've missed anything. Oh, you guys can just bug me if I've missed your question. We've got a long stream, so I should be able to answer everyone tonight. Would you do DCL to Ekatike and Rogers to Dewsbury Hall? So, Jared, DCL's an interesting option for the upcoming games. He's perfectly fine to keep. I do like the Ekitike transfer, though. The Rodgers to Dewsbury Hall, I know Rodgers has been bad, but I feel like he's not the worst option in the world. I do like those two moves. Jared, how many free transfers do you have? If you have like 4 free transfers, I can understand it, but if you are on only 2, makes it a bit tighter. Will Ekitike play 60 minutes, you think? Yeah, I think he'll play 70. 70 probably. Worth holding Calvert-Lewin this week. Forwards are Thiago, Haaland, and DCL. Yeah, it is okay to keep DCL. He's cheap, but if you can do a move like Jared and you really want an Ekitike, I think that move does look okay. It's just like, yeah, it just depends on your team structure at the moment. But yeah, Calvert-Lewin, I mean, if Haaland was out, I probably would have brought Calvert-Lewin in. So that kind of gives you a perspective of the forward options. It's not very deep at this stage of the season. Would you play Rayan or Tavernier? You probably want to play both. Between the two, it's probably Tavernier just because he's on penalties. I'm saying just under 300k, so I'm thinking I might just go for an all-out on captain on Salah differential. Surely Salah has to turn his form around. I guess, like what I would say is that to me, just Salah hasn't looked fantastic. But as you've said, I mean, it only takes one game to change form, and he's going to be a differential. It is Salah after all, but I just feel like this season hasn't been the Salah of the previous seasons. It's just something's a bit off on him. I don't know if he's lost pace or lost his touch or something, but yeah, he doesn't look as threatening, but I mean, you can always get lucky. Christian, no worries for being late. You've made the stream. You don't have to apologize. What's the transfer plan? Currently, it's to roll. Glenn Ezele saying Rice to Semenyo or to Mbeumo. 1 free transfer. So Semenyo is tough because he's great for the next few, but potentially could be bad around the blank. So if you guys don't know, Man City actually have a chance of playing in 31. So we could be saying that Man City are going to blank, but they might not after all. But with Semenyo, let's just assume they blank. He has the West Ham game between the Real Madrid fixtures, so will Semenyo play that game? I don't know. He does look good this week, even as a differential captain. I don't think I would go for Semenyo, Glenn. It's too punty for me. Mbeumo's okay, but I don't feel like Mbeumo's a sensational pick. I mean, the United fixtures, even if you look here, they've got Newcastle, Aston Villa, Bournemouth. I mean, they're not the particularly best fixtures. I just might take a punt and go for a good playing option from like a Fulham, even a Liverpool. They could be more exciting. I just don't know. I don't know with Mbeumo, and I have this like kind of feeling that Carrick might rotate a little bit now that there's kind of close deadlines. But yeah, obviously, I mean, Semenyo is probably going to absolutely bang it this week, but still, I just can't recommend a guy that potentially is going to blank and gets rested against West Ham. Raul Jimenez or Calvert-Lewin. So bossy, I'm happy I didn't have to make this decision this week because I was leaning towards Raul Jimenez just because of the fixtures, but Calvert-Lewin's the safe option. So Calvert-Lewin's the one that's going to get the expected minutes, but Raul Jimenez has those great fixtures. But I think you probably have to go for Calvert-Lewin just for safety, because I think Muniz might start a game eventually. No worries, Glenn. Will Gay play? He should. I haven't seen anything about Mark Gay with an injury, so I think he should be okay. When will you wildcard? Abdullah, currently game week 32, and that's just because game week 33 is the massive double, so you probably want to wildcard bench boost. But let's see how the FA Cup games fall, because if game week 32 looks okay, we might postpone the wildcard to late in the season, and maybe just take a punt on like game week 35, 36, 37, 38, because even though it's going to be late in the season, maybe we have a few teams on the beach, that sort of thing. Updates on Wilson and O'Reilly. I think the update was pretty similar for both of them. They seem better, but they're still going to be assessed. And that was the theme today. The theme was literally, we have training coming up later. Let's wait and see. So I guess there's a positive that they haven't been ruled out completely. But I guess there is always a chance that they don't play. Would you captain Semenyo over Haaland if you owned him? Interesting. I think I think it would be close. The thing about Haaland is obviously he's on penalties, all that good stuff, but Semenyo does have good form. And if we thought Man City was going to do well against Nottingham Forest, surely Semenyo would be equivalent then to Haaland. I think it's okay. I'm trying to think about where I would put Semenyo. I think I might captain Bruno over Semenyo just because of the avenues for points. But I think Semenyo would be in and around there, especially if we knew that Haaland was out confirmed. I'm still captaining Haaland, yes. Fernandes or Semenyo for captain. Harry kind of answered it. I think Fernandes or Fernandes slightly above Semenyo. Start Munoz or Wilson? I would start Wilson. If you guys have Wilson, definitely play him. I would play Wilson over an Anderson. I think he's got attacking threat. I would be pretty okay with that. I don't feel like Wilson, similar thing with some of these other players. I don't think Wilson's in that bracket of if he's not fit to start, he's going to come off the bench. I think they'd rather just give him the rest then. He's too important of a player to do that. Can I get Ekitike or Thiago this week? Who would you go for? I mean, I'm a Liverpool fan, so I might be a little bit biased here. You'd probably go Thiago just because he's on penalties and that sort of thing. He's more of a talisman than Ekitike, but Ekitike is playing for the better attack, so it makes it close. But I think you have to go with Thiago for the kind of penalties and that sort of thing. Start DCL or Alf? I think you start DCL. It is tough though, Irish. Like, I mean, you probably want to play both of them. Yeah, I mean, it's a tight one. Maybe we can go over the projected goals. Okay, let's actually, instead of waiting till half past, I will show you guys the projected goals and clean sheets, and then maybe we'll cut it off a bit earlier then. Just give me a second to bring it up here. Okay, so as always, I didn't do these in the team selection this week, and that was on purpose. It wasn't like Game Week 28 when I just forgot about it. Because of the quick turnaround, I knew that we would do that in the deadline stream anyway, so I'd rather just kind of talk about my team and then in the deadline stream go over these numbers. There've only been slight fluctuations. So if you guys saw in Game Week 28 what happened is as we got closer to that Man City game, the Man City odds started dropping. So what insiders were potentially getting was the news that Haaland was benched or out of the squad. So quite interesting to see how those odds sort of adjusted for that news. And that's basically how people started worrying about Haaland's fitness, is the odds started dropping. The odds this week haven't dropped too much, but they might have already been adjusted for the fact that Haaland wasn't going to play. So just keep that in mind. But Man City definitely at the top there with 2.21. So the question of Semenyo being the Captaincy option is there, and it's backed up by the numbers. But I also feel like this backs up Haaland. Like if he does start, he's a great option. Liverpool next at 2.09. I would expect them to beat Wolves and score a few goals. So Ekitike, Salah, also great options. And then quite weirdly, we have Everton as the third highest. So 1.77. Quite happy with Dewsbury Hall this week. Let's hope it's Dewsbury Hall, as in he gets a massive amount of points, because that'll be pretty good. Arsenal also up there. Fulham, Newcastle, United. So we did have the question of should you start Calvert-Lewin or Lafie? And it looks like Calvert-Lewin here, 1.44 compared to 0.92. The Leeds clean sheet odd is actually pretty decent, 40%. They come in third, tied with Arsenal. So this week, Arsenal aren't the highest clean sheet holders. It's going to be Everton at 42%. Should I actually start Michael Keane? That's a debate, maybe. Otherwise, we've got Liverpool 38% as well as Man City 41%. I don't know. Should I potentially start? Should I start Keane over Anderson? The thing that worries me about Keane, you guys can see it here in terms of history. 1 minute. Okay, you guys can't see it. Okay, let me just extend this a little bit. Okay. Okay, you guys can see minutes played now. 1 minute, 90 minutes. 1 minute. So like he gets subbed on. He gets subbed on for a 1-pointer if he doesn't start the game. But what's making me a bit more comfortable is that the quick turnaround from Newcastle to Burnley, so it's the Saturday to the Tuesday, I kind of feel like he might be okay for this game. But what you might say is that he could play on the weekend instead. So, yeah, I'm not super confident on Keane playing, and maybe I should actually go and look at projected lineups because, yeah, I'll probably go do that once I've gone over these numbers. So, yeah, these are the numbers. I'll leave them up and you guys can kind of deliberate about them. I'm just going to go check potential Everton predicted lineups. Will we get early team sheet news about Everton? That could be pretty good. Okay, let me see if I can get any. Are there any Everton fans in the chat? Okay, there's a few Everton newspapers that I can go over here. Okay, this lineup doesn't have him in. Let's see this one. Okay, this one doesn't have him in. This one doesn't have him in. Okay, every one that I've seen doesn't have Michael Keane in. Yeah, so every lineup I've seen doesn't have Keane playing. Yeah, that's kind of enough for me not to do it. I won't lie. Yeah, so unless we get early team sheet news, I'm pretty fine benching Keane. Okay, now that you guys have seen the projected numbers, I'll leave them up for a little bit longer. Let's do a poll. I want to see you guys are captaining. Let's go Haaland / City. So it's going to be Haaland / Semenyo. Okay, then I'll do Ndiaye / others. So just, it's basically City, Bruno, Liverpool, Everton, or other. So you guys can let me know who your captain is at the current moment. Rice injury status. So basically what you guys can do is, besides Anderson is confirmed to be back. Literally any yellow flag player that is still yellow flagged, the update today was they're looking better. We have training today where they'll be assessed. That was literally the update for Haaland, the update for Wilson, the update for Rice. So not great. Cammy's saying that if he currently starting Rodgers and Munoz, my bench is Krippy, Anderson, and Goodmanson for Leeds. Would you swap any? So starting Rodgers and Munoz. Okay, Cammy, just let me know. Are you playing a back 4 or are you playing a back 3? Because I just want to know if I can swap like a attacker for Munoz. You know what I'm saying. What do you think will... Okay, yeah, Lucas, so Wilson's a tough one. If Wilson is definitely starting, he's a great option, obviously. And he's the priority midfielder, I would say, to bring in. He is a risk, though, because of this kind of injury, potentially. What I would say, though, is I don't feel like he's a player that's going to come off the bench. So as long as you have a good bench coverage option, I would still go for Wilson, because he should be back by game week 30 anyways. Back 3, okay, so I agree then. I probably would play... based on this, I think I would start Munoz over Anderson. And I think you have Rodgers. I think your team is okay then, Cammy. What about O'Reilly? O'Reilly also seemed like it was like he's going to be assessed. My prediction, though, is I think O'Reilly's fine. I think Haaland's fine. I think Wilson's okay. So I wouldn't be surprised if all of them start. Milos is saying a boss start 2 out of 3. Rodon, Van de Ven, Harry Wilson. Harry Wilson, definitely. And then I would go for Rodon based on these numbers that you see on screen. Zakira saying, hi Davey, start one, Lafitte, Delot, or Anderson. Anderson's the safe one. I might just be tempted by Lafitte and just hope that he gets a penalty. Cash, would you do Mark Gayu for DCL or Jimenez? One free transfer, I'm looking at a wild card. Cash, I think it's DCL just because of the minutes. I feel like Raul Jimenez definitely has the fixtures, but he's going to be rotated. Chris Fads is saying, I need to start Tua, Funderfin, Anderson, Hill, and Enzo. I'm thinking Anderson and Enzo. Yeah, I would go on clean sheet odds, and that would be Anderson. And then, yeah, Enzo for the attacking threat, if there is ever attacking threat with him now that Palmer's back. Has Shem just joined any plans? Currently, the plans is what you see on screen. It's to roll the transfer and captain Haaland. Ndai or Sade? It has to be Ndai for this week in isolation, but I think Sade sort of trumps in the more medium term. Now, what if Haaland just starts the last minute? It's the same that I've said with Wilson. I just don't know why they would put him on if he's not fit enough to start. Like, I think it's a start or he doesn't play. I just don't feel like they would risk bringing him on and then him getting more injured. A bench one of Munoz, Tarkowski, or Wilson? Munoz. I think you have to play Tarkowski, Wilson, and you have to Vincent, and you have to play Wilson, Vincent. If you have a Everton defender bar Michael Keane, you play them. Unfortunately for me, I just have Michael Keane as probably. I've checked the projected lineups, and guys, not one of them had Keane in the back line, which does disappoint me a little bit. I was kind of hoping that he would play this fixture. And if he does start it, I hope that we get someone that rather comes on. If we do get early team news about him being back in the squad, then I would play him over Anderson. And Niall with a super chat saying bench one of Dewsbury Hall, Mbeumo, Ryan, Wilson. You have to play Dewsbury Hall, I feel. You'll play Mbeumo. It's between Ryan and Wilson. And I want to say Wilson benched because of the fact that he's not guaranteed to play. But I think I would bench Ryan in that case. And just hope that Brentford have improved their defense. Will saying, would you start Munoz or Anderson? I think I would start Munoz over out of those two. Would you captain Semenyo if you had him? Milos, I think it would be close, but I think it would have to be Haaland's confirmed out. If you don't want to captain Haaland, I think Bruno is my next favorite option. So Vincent, I almost don't want to compare Bruno and Haaland because I kind of feel like it's going to make me captain Bruno just because of the fact that he's guaranteed to play. He has quite a few avenues for points. United haven't been fantastic, but they've been better attacking-wise. And yes, he might offer higher upside. I do feel like Captaincy will be increased on him because of the yellow flag for Haaland as well as the haul in game week 28. It's just close. I feel like if everyone was to start, I feel like Haaland's the better option. Henderson versus Spurs over Raya. I think I would still go for Raya. And Enzo to Tavernier. Now that Tavernier looks like he's got a bit of fitness under him, I think I'd be more comfortable making that move. If Wilson starts, though, I think he's the priority midfielder. But if you can't afford him, then Tavernier is good. First sub, Richards, Anderson, or Keane. I would go with Keane and then just hope that he plays. I don't know, like what I'm doing. So I think now that we've looked at these projected points, we go back to my team. Because I think there's going to be more questions about, well, how does your team look? Are there any Everton in the no accounts? That would be pretty good. Would you consider anyone for a 1 week punt? And if so, who? It has to be a Everton attacker. It would be Ndai or KDH. Well, start Stash or Dango. I would start Dango Naveen. I have the same team as yours, just JP instead of Ekatike, and I have 1.2 in the bank. What should I do? I don't think you can do João Pedro to Ekatike, right? So João Pedro's okay. João Pedro's fine. If you can do João Pedro to Ekatike, then do that, but I don't think you can. Just let me know, Shaham, if you can do that straight. Hey, Davey, my transfer plans are Rice and Mark Yeh to KDH and Raul Jimenez. I can also afford DCL. What do you think? I have 2 free transfers. So, Chad, I really like Raul Jimenez. I think if you were to pick a player with fixtures, it would be him. I just worry about minutes, and that's just how I play FPL. Is I want to go for the player that has the higher expected minutes, and that is just DCL in this case. So, I think you go for DCL. But I wouldn't be surprised if Raul Jimenez bangs it. It's just the fact that, let's say he doesn't score this week, does Muniz start instead of him in the next Premier League game? Potentially. So it's almost like if it goes well, it goes well, but I don't know. If you had Wilson, would you start him? Yes, Cash, I would start him. I would start the majority of your players that you don't feel like. Vernon, I just checked Twitter, so it was more of a question. Yeah, it's because of the notifications, so just go read the tweet. Loy, are these okay? Salah, Captain, and Anderson in for Lacroix as my 1 free transfer. Yeah, that's fine. I think that's okay. Yeah, Vincent, Newcastle have conceded quite a few goals. I would know because I have this young man in my team that has been he's been stinking up this team so hard because he has got me no points. Actually, he got 7 points, but I benched him because it was Man City. When I've started Hall, it's basically been 0-1-1, 3-1 or whatever. And trust him to score 7 points in the Man City game. But yeah, I know that Newcastle are terrible. Start Rice or KDH. I'd start KDH, and Hall or Hill. Let's put it this way. If your defender like Hill has 22%, I might just punt on Keane to start. But yeah, I don't know. Milotov saying, we love you, Davey. Love you too. Holland starts. Can you check your source? So Vernon, I'll show you the tweet, brother. Look at this. Look at this bait. This is the tweet. This is the tweet here. Haaland starts when he's fit. Is he fit is the big question. That's what he said. So not exactly guaranteed confirmation. I will monitor though. I will monitor Twitter and see if anything does come up. But I doubt we do get it, just because of the fact that they play tomorrow. So, like, I don't think we get team news more than 24 hours. What we might get is we might get like them saying that Haaland trained today, which would be okay. Vincent, yeah, you can just keep on posting the goals conceded. I'm sure it just gets worse. Whatever happened to FPL Rockstar, asks Will. Okay, so Will, basically what happened is, this is what I assume, is that FPL Rockstar was involved in some sort of like media team releases. So what happens is before the deadline, he probably got access to the teams through whatever lineups were posted as graphics. And then I think once they changed the deadline further away or something like that, that was affected. So that's what I think happened with FPL Rockstar. But yeah, while it lasted, it was great. And I think he's racked up a few followers. But also he's a Liverpool fan, so he did a good job. DCL João Pedro. Bossy, is it to start or to bring in? I'd probably just bring in DCL then, he's cheaper. I've Rogers. Should I keep him or who would you replace him with? I would say if Wilson was back, you would have gone for him, but you already have him. I think you can just keep Rogers. It's not the best situation, but yeah, I think let me just check. I mean, he has West Ham at home in game week 31. Maybe you just keep him till then. Let me check if there's anyone that's like really a lot better. I mean, I guess it depends on who you can go to. If you really want to take a punt, you go for Ndai, but Ndai is Arsenal, Chelsea next. So he might not be too great. Yeah, I think I might just keep Rodgers. Unless you can upgrade to someone like Mbeumo. Dango's also there. He could be exciting, but yeah. I feel for you, Rodgers owners, because he's a good option, but he just hasn't been performing. ADK Soccer's also asking, should I do Rodgers to Dango or Roll? Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Let me assess. Let me put some thinking towards this. No, I just keep Rodgers, to be honest. Is it safer to captain Haaland? It probably is. I would probably say Haaland's the safer captain. I don't think it's as safe as it was last week. I think there's going to be a lower proportion because of the yellow flag. He missed last game week. Bruno also hauled last week, so people will shift to that. But I think he will be captain by the majority of people. Paniota is saying, would you start Rodgers or Rice in defense? Would you play one of Anderson, Hill, or Alderete? I'd start Anderson in your defense. And like Rodgers versus Rice is pretty tough. I would say like tough because I don't think it's super high ceiling. I probably would play Rodgers just because of the Rice yellow flag though. Enzo to Wilson or Roll. I would be tempted to do it. How to watch Keane getting 15 on the bench. It's going to be tough to watch Keane getting 15 on the bench. What I will say, though, is I've checked projected lineups and none of them had Keane starting. So that's my defense. It's not my fault. It's the projected team's fault. Yeah, Oliver, I guess we could switch it around. We could maybe just go for Anderson, first bench. Does that make you a bit happier? Maybe we can do that. Rodgers for Semenyo. I don't know if I can recommend bringing Semenyo in. I think he can do well this week. Outside Captaincy punt even. I just don't know if he's going to blank in 31 and gets rested against West Ham. It's a 1 week punt then. Jojo's Revenge coming. Exciting 5 free transfers. João Pedro to Thiago. That looks good. Enzo to Wilson. That also looks good. And Anderson to Dango. Yeah, all 3 of those look good. I think you can do all 3 of them, to be honest. Start Wilson or Enzo? I'd start Wilson. I'd start Wilson. If you guys have Wilson, I'd start. I can't do JP to Ekatike on the fund, so should I just keep JP? Yeah, I think you can just keep JP then. And then maybe if you amount a few transfers, you can do the switch if need be. Igor is saying, I have Haaland, Wilson, and Rice. On my bench, Kripke Jr., Senesi, Chalobah. No Ekatike and a wildcard. Any chance to make who the captain? Igor, I don't know your entire team, but I think you're okay. I mean, Haaland, Wilson, Rice, I think maybe 2 of the 3 start. Start Kripke or Dango? Kripke or Dango? Kripke might actually play center forward, so... Yeah, would you start Kripke Jr.? I still feel like he's rotation prone, so I might just still go Dango. That is close though, that is tight between them. How concerned are you of Haaland's minutes being managed and it being a 1-pointer? I'm more worried, Will, about it being... I think it's more likely to be like a 60, 70 minutes than it is to be like a 10 minutes. But if you are worried about that, if you are concerned, then I think Bruno's a good option. Ekatike is a good option. Like there are pretty good options that are alternatives this week. Yeah, I don't see any early team sheet news, so unfortunately with 60 minutes to go, it does look like Michael Keane. I don't know if we're going to get news about him. Twister saying, how's it every bench one of Rodgers, Dango, Rice? I probably bench Rice because of the flag. I think this week, if you guys have a benching dilemma, just do that. I see a few Semenyo captainers. If you guys do want to go there, it seems like a few people are doing that. Danger with captaining Haaland is Pep might bring him on for 20 minutes at the end. Yeah, so I think the only way this happens maybe if Man City aren't leading, then maybe. But I don't know. I got Somerville starting. Somerville looked pretty decent in the Liverpool game, and he has been pretty okay. I have 5 free transfers with Sanchez, Dubravka, Riley, Hill, Anderson, Dalot, Mukiele. Okay, I think your question cut off there, 0008. Mir, it's not the question of like owning Keane. It's just the fact that I couldn't take him out because I use my transfers elsewhere. So I do get the sentiment of like, if you're not going to start Keane against Burnley at home, why'd you have him? But it's almost like he's a bench fodder option. Like I haven't really needed to play him that much anyways. I just haven't had a transfer to get rid of him basically. So yeah, it is true about that fact, but it's just like, if he was guaranteed to play, then I would understand, but he's not. So I'm okay benching him with that thought. Who do Everton play in the FA Cup? Okay, Everton are out of the FA Cup. Is that true? Okay, yeah. So between today and Arsenal, they have quite a lot of rest, like 10 days rest. Christian Keane, yeah, I've put Keane second on the bench there, Christian. Is Haaland captain confirmed? SHR currently, unless we get some massive news like 13 minutes before. I'm not 100% on it. Let's put it that way. But I'm okay with it currently. Out of Bruno, okay, wait, actually, let's go check the. So quite interesting numbers here. So 55% of you guys are captaining Haaland / City. So that could be Semenyo. Then it's split 20%, 20% on Bruno and Ekitike / Salah. I would have thought that Bruno would be higher. I won't lie. So maybe Bruno's actually more differential. Dewsbury Hall captain, Connor, I won't lie to you, it crossed my mind. It crossed my mind today. But I decided against it. Yeah, so I did kind of, it pondered. I had a ponder, let's call it that. Let's put it that way. DCL captain, yeah, I don't know, Sid. I mean, Leeds' chances are actually pretty good against Sunderland, according to the numbers. So I could go Semenyo from Mbumo, wildcard coming soon anyway. Yeah, I guess I could. I still feel like Mbumo's an okay option. I mean, I swear I'm swapping between Mbumo and Mbumo, like sentence to sentence. So which one is it even? Start Vandenberg or Statch? Do you have a Bournemouth attacker? If you do, Frederick, then Statch. Tavernier captain against Brentford, their defense looks. Yeah, I don't think. I think it's Brentford's defense looks bad because of the Burnley game. Let's just say it's a once-off though, then maybe. But I feel like it's a bit too differential for me. It's a similar thing with like KDH, but I guess Tavernier is better because he's at least on penalties. So what's like a Bruno captain? I'll probably go Bruno. I have 5 free transfers. Okay, 000. You got your team in here now. Okay, Gravenberch is interesting. Enzo, Haaland, Thiago, and Ekitike should make a transfer. Okay, so your front three is good. Semenyo, Fernandes, Rogers. I would do Fernandes. Is it Bruno Fernandes or is it Chelsea Fernandes? If it's Chelsea Fernandes, I'd do Dango. But otherwise, the team's okay. You have a bit of bench coverage if you need it with Dalot. Does it work to get DCL in for Rogers? Hashem, just like, do you mean in terms of your actual team or do you mean a transfer? Because That doesn't make sense. Christian, I'm captaining Haaland because I kind of feel like he starts. And if he starts, I feel like he's the best Captaincy option. Yeah, I have Dango. Okay, yeah. So then... No. So Frederick, sorry, I meant like, do you have a Bournemouth attacker? Because Van den Berg's the Brentford defense. That's what I meant, sorry. Oh, Bruno, 000. Okay, so then your team is fine. Wilson, Rogers, Semenyo, Haaland. Yeah. Oh, you have 5 free transfers. Okay, if you have 5 free transfers... Who would you take out, though? Let me just quickly check for you. With 5 free transfers, I might do... Oh, but that's spicy then. I was going to say do Gravenberch to KDH, but then who are you going to bench? Okay, maybe Gravenberch to like an Anderson or something. Or what I would do is do Dalot out. Because I think Mukiele, you have a bit of money left in him, so you probably want to keep him. So do Dalot to like a defender. Like maybe a Leeds defender. Rodon should be back. Bruno Ekitike and Dai captain. I think you have it in the order I would go. I would go Bruno Ekitike and Dai captain. So the same order. What to do with Wilson? I'd start him and keep. 3 flags. Haaland, Wilson, and Rice. 2 players for bench coverage. Anderson against West Ham and Thiel. Who should be first? Anderson should be first on your bench. Does Thalas still have penalties? Yeah, he does. Put the vice on Ekitike. Start Dalot or Anderson. Start Anderson. Would you go Lafita, Casemiro? Probably not, Ryan. How about Sesko for a punt? I like him, but I'm not taking out Haaland. If Haaland was confirmed out, then I would entertain Sesko. But I feel like there's other options you can just go for. HP, I'll get back to your question. I just want to quickly post my team to Discord quick. Then I'll answer all you guys' questions. Okay, and then let me just post it to YouTube quick, and then we can get to your questions. Okay, compared to your team, I've got Munoz instead of Hall in defense, Harry Wilson and Saar instead of Mbeumo and KDH in midfield, 1 transfer and 0.3, and issue towards blank game week 31. Yeah, so I might do Saar to Dango, but you don't have to do it. But yeah, so with your team, are you benching Munoz? Because that's quite... Your team is a bit more stacked than mine, I would say. I guess you could just bench Saar, though. Any early team sheet news? Let me go check. I don't see anything. Yeah, I don't see any early team sheet news. So unfortunately, wait, let me see if I can search for Keane. That's probably the player I'm looking for. I don't see anything here. Okay, no, so I don't see any early team sheet news here. Yeah. Okay, so I don't think we're going to get any. I'll check like 2 minutes before and see if there's anything, but I doubt. I keep Rice or sell for Wilson. I mean, Andy, it's tough because of if Wilson doesn't start, like, yeah. But I guess Rice also might not play, so. Any plans to transfer Buemo or Bruno anytime soon? How much? I've got 0.0 in the bank. I think you should be able to see it just above my head, yeah. But I don't know. I currently don't have plans to sell them. Start Muniz or Cherky? I don't know if Cherky's going to play, Ty. Whom to start, Keane or Hall? I would play Keane, Winston. I mean, Hall's going to get 1 point anyway, so you might as well just play Keane if he comes off the bench. Start Keane or Hill? I mean, these are tough questions, but I think if you guys are worrying about who to start between Keane and Hill, your team probably looks okay. It all depends on if you think Keane's going to start. I checked every projected lineup, and none of them had Keane, so probably Hill then. Play Hill or Anderson? I own 2 attackers from Brentford, so I probably would say Anderson. What do you think about Semenyo captain? I like it. I mean, if you think Haaland doesn't play, then I think it's good. You hedging nicely. You hedging on the fixture still, but you don't. Okay, let's search Keane again on latest and see if anything happens. Okay, I didn't see anything. Not worried about H starting on the bench. Yeah, he could. I don't know. I think Arteta's lying about Rice. Do you mean positive or negative? Do you think he's actually really injured or not? Adam B, bench one of KDH, Wilson or Rice? I bench Rice. Oh, I mean, Wilson's also doubt. But yeah, I'd definitely play KDH. I'd probably just bench Rice. Should I do Haaland to Thiago? I think you just keep Haaland. If Haaland was confirmed out, then maybe, yes. Okay, yeah, I see nothing here, so I'm going to just assume that we get nothing, but I'll continue checking. Keane or Hall first sub? I'd put Keane first sub. Start Senesi or Anderson? I'd start Anderson. You probably have Brentford attackers. Why would you put Saar ahead of Anderson and Keane on the bench? Would you put, sorry, I thought you were asking. Would you put Saar ahead of Anderson and Keane on the bench? Yes, yeah. I think I'd put Saar over Anderson. Soboslai or Gakpo? Soboslai. Start Wilson or Krippy? That is tough. I feel a few Krippy owners because I think he starts at center forward. I still feel like I'd start Wilson though. Who can I bring in for Enzo? Hannah, I'd bring in Wilson. Even though he's a doubt, I feel like he's going to play in the future. You want him for that Burnley game. Bruno captain for the differential? Yeah. Start Keane or over Rice? No, I'd start Rice. Should I bring Kadish or Ekatike in? I've Gay and Rice. I'd bring in Ekatike rather. But if you're doing both those moves, I think both those moves look pretty good this week. Plan for next week? Well, I don't actually know. I'm just focusing on this week. Because, okay, so, well, the better answer is that we have FA Cup games, so there's a lot that can happen between now and then. Okay, yeah. It's TUPD time anyways. I was checking to see if maybe Keane starts. I am the first one. I actually was 2 seconds off, so I was pretty close. But unfortunately, guys, it is time up. Pens down. If you know, you know. But that's going to be the deadline. There's going to be a little bit of a break now. If you guys don't know, we've got FA Cup coming up on the weekend. So I probably will only make content next week. Let's see how the week kind of progresses. And let's just see if we get another green arrow. I'm hoping for a green arrow. It is going to be heavily dependent on tomorrow, because if Haaland is out, if Haaland plays like 10 minutes, it's going to be bad. But Michael's saying, I know time's up, but would you have started Wilson or Anderson? I would have gone for Wilson over Anderson. Kelleher versus Dubravka, 60 seconds. So Sagan, unfortunately, you're a bit late. But Kelleher versus Dubravka, I'd start Kelleher for the clean sheet after the new baby. Let's say that. But unfortunately, guys, that is going to be the end of the stream. As always, thank you for joining. I know it was a bit of a later one. If you guys are going to go sleep now, sleep well. And I'll be seeing you guys on Twitter. So for the time being, I'm signing off though. It's been Davey FPL and I'm out. Cheers. Bye.